Have you ever seen a Japanese businessman in a suit passed out drunk or sleeping on the sidewalk? Of course, many of them probably drink because they want to, but what if some of them actually don't? Konnichiwa guys. Today I want to talk about Japan's deeply rooted company drinking culture, especially from the perspective of someone who used to work in sales, a job where drinking parties are incredibly common. If you're thinking of working in Japan someday, this is definitely something worth knowing. Let's get into it. In Japan, it's common for people from a workplace or school community to go out and drink together. This is called a nomikai. Typically, it starts at an izakaya, a kind of Japanese pub, where people enjoy food and drinks for 2 or 3 hours. Then comes the second party, maybe even a third, where they move to a different bar, karaoke place, or whatever fits the vibe. Now, when you go drinking with close friends or people you like, it's actually a lot of fun. While in Japanese companies, many employees are often pressured into going out drinking with their bosses, maybe 10 or 20 years older, and instead of enjoying themselves, they're stuck listening to long-winded brags or being criticized about work. If you're forced to go to one of these company drinking parties you don't even want to attend, it becomes pure torture. You already want to go home as soon as the first toast is made, but if you leave after the first round, people will say you're not a team player or that you're no fun. So most younger employees stay until at least the second party and don't get home until around midnight. But the worst part of company drinking parties isn't just how they eat into your personal time or how late you get to bed. It's that during the whole party, you're expected to follow a bunch of stupid traditional drinking manners, constantly watching everyone around you and staying on your toes. You have to pour just right, holding the label upright and making sure the foam and beer ratio is perfect. If your boss's glass is empty, you better refill it immediately. And you're supposed to memorize each boss' preferred type of shochu, how strong they like it, and even what temperature. While doing all that, you also have to liven up the conversation and keep things fun. And if you're not drinking much, your boss will probably pressure you to drink more. That's no longer a party, it's unpaid overtime. It's hell. Honestly, I could probably make a whole separate video just about these drinking manners. Maybe I will one day. So why do Japanese salarymen go through all this hassle for something with zero productivity? The answer is simple: to improve workplace communication and gain political advantage within the company. Many Japanese people aren't naturally outgoing, and some say they can't speak honestly with coworkers or bosses unless alcohol is involved. So nomikai is seen as a way to break the ice, create a better impression, and boost your chances of promotion. Of course, there are people who just like drinking and go to blow off steam, but for many, building relationships through drinking is one of the main reasons they do. Older generations and even some younger people still believe that not attending drinking parties is equal to you lack teamwork. So if you work at the company with frequent nomikai and choose not to go, it can come back to bite you, especially if you ever make a mistake at work. Compared to someone who regularly drinks with team and builds strong relationships, your position might become more valuable. So if you're job hunting in Japan, I strongly recommend looking for a company where drinking culture is minimal or where relationships aren't dependent on alcohol. That said, Japan's harassment laws have gotten much stricter in recent years, and it's become easier for younger employees to decline invitations. And I do believe these kinds of drinking heavy companies have decreased, but still, drinking culture remains deeply embedded in Japanese corporate life. Personally, I think many young people would rather use that time for themselves rather than go to a forced drinking party. But as long as older generation who tend to cling to outdated mindsets hold most of the power in companies, it will probably take a long time before that views becomes the norm. If you are planning to work in Japan, keep this in mind and definitely ask about drinking culture when you are choosing the company. I'd love to hear about the drinking culture in your country, or if there's any other topic you'd like me to cover in the future, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.